Hey there, YouTube. Cheers. Welcome back. Part two of recent vinyl finds. Really is high quality H2O. Delicious. So let's continue. This one, Gwen McCrae. This was released in '74. It's a self-titled album. This one was later changed to the name of when the song "Rockin' Chair" got popular, and so this was reissued and re-released as "Rockin' Chair." I have somewhere, and I haven't seen it in a while, the Rockin' Chair edition, but I did not have this original edition on the Cat label. This was only $3, and so I was glad to get that. I'm not a huge Gwen McCrae fan, but For Your Love, is it on here? Yeah, For Your Love, and he keeps something groovy going on, and it keeps on raining. Oh, and 90% of Me Is You are good songs on there, and of course on the other edition, Rockin' Chair, yeah, one of my favorite songs. Uh, Leonard Skinner, First and Last. This was an album that was released after the band's tragic accident with just demos and what have you that they had um, already done. I think I read somewhere that some vocals may have been added and some things may have been tweaked a little bit, but this was the first and their last studio album after that tragic airplane crash. I have this. This was an upgraded copy for me. It's not my first album. I'm not first. It's not my favorite album of theirs, but I am a Skinner fan. Preacher's Daughter on here. I do like Lend a Helping Hand. Uh, Not my favorite record, but again, it was $3, and so I said, okay, I'll upgrade that copy. Al Jarreau, I'll Fly Home, All Fly Home rather. This came out in the mid '70s, '74, '75. This is a MoFi edition, and this is one of the earlier MoFis that came out. I only have a handful of these MoFi releases. I just refuse to pay that kind of money. I paid $15 for this one, and it's in really good shape. But I refuse to pay all that money for a record. $100 plus for a record. No, thank you. But when I went to the record store, one of the record stores I went to, the owner asked me if I was an Al Jarreau fan because, well, he knew I was an Al Jarreau fan, and he wanted to know if I wanted this one for $15, and I said okay. It's a MoFi release. I tried, and they do sound nice. Not $100 nice in my opinion, but they do sound nice. And so when I do have the opportunity to get one at not a ridiculously stupid price, I'll take that opportunity. But there hasn't been very many. I think I have the David Bowie Let's Dance album as a MoFi issue that I got used somewhere kind of cheap, and it was in good shape. I might have three total, including this one. And I just, yeah, I'm not paying that kind of money. Candy State, and this was a reissue, a new. This is a record store day release, maybe last year or the year before. Candy Staten, Trouble, Heartache, and Sadness, rare cuts from the Fame session. She issued maybe 3 albums on the Fame label in the early '70s. Good work. I think I only have one of them, and so this is a just a compilation of stuff. Nice album. I haven't listened to all of it again. I've just skipped through it a little bit, but it was $20, well worth it in my opinion. I am a Candy Staten fan. Glad to get um, that one. The legendary Zing album by the Tramps on the Buddha label. I just paid $3 for this. The Zing. What was the hit on this one? I can't remember it. Uh, Zing. Yeah, Zing. The Strings of My Heart. That's what I'm trying to find one here. That was a big hit on here. The version of 60 Minute Man, and then Hold Back the Night were hits. I hadn't heard all of the songs on here, but the others that I did listen to were okay. Those are my favorites on the Buddha label for this price. No, actually, it wasn't $3. This was $5. Yeah, it had a $10 price tag, but he gave it to me for 5. Glad to get that record. I'm sorry, my back is just itching. With this cold weather, I probably need some lotion. Queen, self-titled album, 73, 74 maybe 75. But Keep Yourself Alive on there was one of the big hits on here. Also, Seven Seas of Rye. I like the entire album. This is one of those Queen records that I can listen to. It was an upgraded copy for me for $20. It's not mint, but it's in pretty good shape. The cover's a little worse for wear, but the record was in pretty good shape. And this is one of those um, uh, Queen albums that I can just listen to straight through because it just sounds so good. And next, It's a Beautiful Day. This album was entitled Today, early 70s prog rock on the Columbia label. This was $5. This album, Child, Ain't That Lovin' You Baby, Mississippi Delta, um, Burning Low are just some of the songs on here that I like. I had never had this album before, but I had heard uh, maybe on live streaming somewhere. I heard it. I don't remember where, but it had been a little while since I had heard it, and I had kept an eye out for it. And then getting it for $5. When I did see it, I was glad to have it. This is what I've been looking for a long time, and I got it sealed. Marvin Gaye, Here My Dear. It's a cutout, but it was sealed. He gave it to me for $20. If you're not familiar with this album, so when Marvin Gaye divorced his first wife Anna, he was pretty broke by that time. So the divorce settlement was that he would record an album and she would reap the benefits of the profits from that album. And so what I've read is that initially Marvin Gaye set out to create just the worst album that he could make so that it wouldn't sell, so that she wouldn't get that much money. That's just how angry he was. He was willing to put out a terrible album in his name so that his ex-wife wouldn't profit from it because it wouldn't sell. But the word is, as he got into it, he really began to pour his heart into the songs that he was writing, and you can hear the pain in his heart. I understand that. This came out in 78, I think. Yeah, and I understand that at that time I was 7. I wasn't paying attention to the Marvin Gaye, Hear My Dear album probably, but I'm told that it didn't sell very well at that time, but really, starting in the 90s, 2000s, people kind of rediscovered that album and rediscovered some of the gems that were on there. The song "I Met a Little Girl," the one of the most powerful ones is "When Did You Stop Loving Me? When Did I Stop Loving You in Anger?" There are just some great stuff on here, and a song. There's a song, "A Funky Space Reincarnation," that really is truly funky. But when you look at the especially like the back of the cover, in the stone it says "Pain and Divorce," and you can see two people kissing, and in the background it's all bloody and burning, and this is just a great album. I have it on CD. I have an expanded copy of this on CD. That's nice, but I had never had it on vinyl, and to get one was just I was just so happy. It had a $30 price tag on it. He asked me if I wanted to open it because it's always a crapshoot when you buy a record that's been sealed for a long time. It may have been warped. A lot of things could have gone wrong. It could have just been flawed and skipped. So he asked me if I wanted to open it and check it, but I said no. I'll open it when I get it home, and I play it, and I did. So he just gave it to me for $20. Was so grateful. I'm so glad to get this record. Hear My Dear, Marvin Gaye. If you haven't heard it, I would recommend that you do listen to it. The next one is 10 Years After, A Space in Time. This is an upgraded copy from mine. This came out in 71, I think. This copy is a 80s reissue. The original copy in the U.S. came out on the Columbia label. This is on the Chrysalis label. There were two reissues on the Chrysalis label. One, this white Chrysalis label, and then the traditional other blue label. So this is a reissue. This is a upgraded copy for me. The copy that I have isn't the best, and so when I got the opportunity to upgrade my copy, I did take it for $5. This is a good album. Their version of there's not their version, but their song "I'd Love to Change the World" is a great song. In addition, "Baby, Won't You Let Me Rock You," Uncle Jam, "Hard Monkeys," "Once There Was a Time." There was a lot of great stuff. If you're not familiar with 10 Years After, kind of bluesy, progressive rock band, a lot of instrumental stuff, really great sound. Their early stuff on the Durham label is good, and then they went over to Columbia in the U.S. and Chrysalis and some other territories. I have quite a few albums by this band, including a live album, and it is absolutely fantastic. If you have the opportunity to get an album by this band, 10 Years After, I'd recommend it. This is a good record too if it's your introduction to the band. I think that this was a good one. They have a live album I think is the best introduction to that band if you're just getting their first record. But this one is not a bad alternative as well. Just a couple of more. Three more. The Moonglows, their greatest hits. This is an 80s issue on the Chess label. The Fabulous Moonglows. That was a band that Marvin Gaye was a part of. He was their drummer. And when Berry Gordy bought a small Detroit label, the Moonglows were signed to them. That's how he got Marvin Gaye. I don't think he kept the rest of the group, Harvey Fuqua's group, but Marvin Gaye was their drummer. They did have a lot of great music in the 60s. Sincerely, We Go Together, their version of the Ten Commandments of love. Most of all, Blue Velvet, Penny Arcade are just some of the um, good songs on here. I have a couple of their 45s, but the rest of the stuff that I have for them is on CD. So this was the first time that I was able to get something from the Moon Glows as a vinyl album. $3. Glad to have it. This was one that I bought new. Walmart released Creedence Clearwater Revival live at Royal Albert Hall on April 14th, 1970. This was just recently commercially issued for the first time. It's a really great album. This one is on colored vinyl, gray splatter vinyl with that blue fantasy label. This album is really nice. What did I pay for this? $28, yeah, at Walmart. Glad to get it. What made me go to Walmart was I needed a couple of things from there, but at one of the used record stores that I go to, they had bought a collection from someone, and some of the stuff in there, we call it the Walmart regrettable, the Walmart regrets. It was a lot of reissues that were Walmart reissues in there that the person didn't want anymore, and none of us wanted them. It was stuff we already had or just didn't want. And so I was thinking, well, I haven't been to Walmart in a while to buy any records. I need something else, so I'll go by and I'll look, and that's what I came across that I thought that I would get. And then lastly, Chicago Rocks. The Loop was a radio. I don't know if the Loop is still on air now. I don't listen to the radio. But this was released in 1980. The Loop was a radio station in Chicago in 1980. And I haven't had an opportunity to listen to this, but this looks like this was local bands back in the 80s, a compilation of their stuff. Because I've never heard of any of these bands. Some of them have Chicago in the name, or the songs, song Rock and Roll Chicago by M&R Rush, Sad Love Song, Amy Hart, Out of Control, Clocks, CLOX, Radio, Dreamer is the name of the band. And so I do like to buy radio station stuff on vinyl, and this was only $3. I like the cover. It's kind of hard to see here, but I like the cover, and so I do need to listen to this. I've had it for probably 2-3 weeks. It's just been really busy, and this was kind of I don't know why, but I do like local music, and so I do need to get to listen to that. So that's my recent vinyl finds for the last few weeks. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that everyone is having a blessed and wonderful day in the Lord. Please continue to stay safe. I'm so glad that at least here in Northwest Indiana, our weather's been mild. It's been in the 50s. We did get down and had some days in the 30s, but it's been nice here lately, and so I'm really grateful to that. Pray that everyone is doing good. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you, and may God keep you all. Thank you so much, and have a great day.